through Operation Sindoor, India only gave it back, okay, which is grey lizard. And that grey lizard is the patch which is responsible for what is happening right now. So Pluto goes into 3 cycles, the eagle avatar when it goes into the 0 degrees. Then there is a middle phase when it goes between 8 to 16 degrees. Atom bomb was, dropped. So all of those things. And when Pluto was in Leo in the 1975 to 77, see that both these gentlemen were born with the difference of just 1 year. He has, those kind of personal planet which makes him egoistic, okay, and also he's very devious. You see that there are more green squares in the horoscope. I mean, it's a software. The software doesn't lie, right? The planet Z, a very, very powerful body. So in the morning today, I shot this video on what will happen to the India-Pakistan war. How long will it last? What's going to happen? All of that. And I gave it to my editor. And he said he'll give me in the evening. And then, I was watching the news and I was pleasantly surprised to know that there is a ceasefire. I said, wow. I mean, how could Trump do it? And more importantly, I was also thinking as to how can we really trust the Pakistanis? Is it really possible that, they are going to really do the ceasefire? And also looking at the fact that Trump had actually, taken all the credit now, and he's also done something like this with Russia and Ukraine. And you know what happened, right? This, the ceasefire didn't really exist. So what is really going to happen in this time around with India and Pakistan? A lot of the things that I actually made the video in the morning before the ceasefire happened actually, stays true. So I'm going to now take you through the video, and wherever it's required, I'll maybe add a few of my new thoughts. All right. See you then in the video. So we're already seeing a lot of false stories which is being circulated by Pakistan. The first escalation, as someone said, was Pahalgam. India didn't initiate anything. It was Pakistan who did that first, and then through Operation Sindoor, India only gave it back, and especially India restricted the offense only to the terrorist areas. But then now Pakistan is escalating it further, and they are on the offensive in the border, in the LOC, as well as on the territories very close to Pakistan. So yes, it is on, it's already on, and it is going on. And so before we talk about what will happen, let me take you through. This is not about saying that, I predicted this. But the point is that, it is to tell you that how astrology can actually help us identify those events which can happen in future and which can impact all of us. And I had written this book, 91 Predictions. And this book was published like 3 years ago. In 2001. So that's like 4 years ago. And in that book, I had talked about one concept, which is grey lizard. And that grey lizard is the patch which is responsible for what is happening right now. So let me explain this to you a bit. In fact, not only in 2021, I had, in 91 Predictions, I had not only talked about the war which is happening at this point of time, I had even talked about the tariff wars. I had mentioned that there can be actual wars which happen between, of course, Russia. There are so many border skirmishes happening across the globe. All of that was mentioned, plus the tariff wars was mentioned. And I'd also explained in a few videos which was released a few months ago in the beginning of the year. The grey lizard patch is going to be on us very soon after March, April. And I had explained the exact situation as to what is going to be happening at this point of time. In fact, I had also talked about in my Instagram reels about there is an imminent market crash that is going to happen. बहुत बड़ा market crash होने वाला है. And that can also happen due to what reasons? In fact, if you go and see this video that is there on your screen, I had predicted, 3-4 years ago on my video, the title was like, I said that, something is going to happen in 2025. And are you ready for that? So how did I arrive at what is happening at this point of time? For that, I need to talk about this planet Pluto. That's my favorite planet. It's favorite for one simple reason that, it is the planet which is responsible for all the major socio-political events that happen across the globe. So Pluto goes into 3 cycles, the eagle avatar when it goes into the 0 degrees. Then there is a middle phase when it goes between 8 to 16 degrees, that is called as the grey lizard avatar. And then it goes into the scorpion avatar. Eagle avatar is a new initiation of something new happening in the world. Then the grey lizard patch is the patch which is the very bad patch. When there's something really bad happens, lot of troubles happen. And then the scorpion patch, everything settles down. This happens every time Pluto enters into a new zodiac sign. So now Pluto, if I have to give a deity, the Indian deity for Pluto, I would say you can assign Shiva, Lord Shiva, to Pluto. Lord Shiva, has various, his faces. Sometimes he gets into the Rudra Tandav avatar, where he is very ferocious. And whenever we talk about Shiva being the destroyer, what we need to understand is that Shiva destroys but to recreate. So his destruction phase is what is characterized by the grey lizard. See, all the major destructions in the world have happened during the grey lizard patch. For example, if I'm going to give the example of, let's say, the World War I. 1914 to 1918, that was the time when Pluto was in grey lizard in the zodiac sign Gemini. And Gemini is all about communication. And what happened during World War I was, if you go on Google, you will find that World War I happened because of all miscommunication. And then if you go to World War II, the years were 1939 to 1945, exactly a time when Pluto was in grey lizard. And Pluto was in grey lizard in the zodiac sign Cancer. And Cancer is all about your home, your motherland, okay? And you know what happened during the time, right? Various countries were carved out, and there were fights across the globe. The first atom bomb was dropped. So all of those things, which also eventually led to the partition, all of those things happened. So during this entire phase, Pluto was in Cancer, and Cancer rules motherland. So something happens to your country. Okay, our country is being carved out. So similar kind of things happened many times. You can keep on talking about it. When Pluto was in Leo in the 1975 to 77, that was the time when emergency happened in India. So every time, Pluto was in the last time around, it was in Scorpio. That was the time in 1999. That is when Kargil war happened. And then it went into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about carelessness. If you know that in 2008, the economic crisis happened, and that was the time when Pluto was in grey lizard in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a zodiac sign. There is a lax, it rules the law. Okay, but people were not following the rules and regulations, the banks, especially the custodians of money, which led to the economic crisis and recession. So every time the Pluto goes into a particular zodiac sign, something connected, the negative shades of the thing connected to the particular zodiac sign happens. So then finally Pluto came into Capricorn in 2020, and that is when the pandemic happened. Now, very interestingly, Capricorn zodiac sign rules two things. One is, it rules multiple things. So one of the things is it rules family. So the pandemic, what it did was it made us all come together. We came closer to the family. So it was a negative event, but then something positive happened. It's also connected to career, and that's the reason there are so many things happening, okay, like work from home and so many other things happening in career area. There is a lot of, that requires a different explanation altogether. We'll talk about career, how Pluto in grey lizard will impact your career later. But Pluto in Capricorn is a zodiac sign which is all about my country. It is all about my territory. It is all about, one-upmanship. It is me. And it is also understand that it is all about tradition. It is about motherland. It is about safeguarding my country and my motherland and my borders. Okay, my supremacy and saving your territory. So there are so many things that is happening in the world. I had explained in the book 91 Predictions. I had explained about how the one-upmanship will happen. And the man who is doing it, right? And that is, and this one man is threatening the entire world, saying that there will be tariff on you, and then he is sort of extorting the entire world. The trade war is one part of it, and there will be some more things that will happen, and that will be those territorial fights, okay, which you can see that there are so many border skirmishes. It can be Gaza, Palestine, it can be China, Taiwan, it can be Russia, Ukraine. So there are so many things already happening here, and we already, of course, we have a long-standing history with Pakistan. Pakistan triggered the whole event. They started the Pahalgam thing. Okay, and what India has been doing is only safeguarding or just giving it back. Okay, and then of course Pakistan is the one who's escalating it, and of course they have the help of China, and I'm sure that there are so many reasons for that, because understand that Pakistan is in a very bad state. Their economic affairs are very bad. They needed some narrative to ensure that they catch the attention of the world, and probably they need more funds. So probably this is some I don't know, I'm not getting into conspiracy theories, but I'm just saying that there could be larger theories in play. It can be China. There are so many factors which are involved to ensure that there is a different narrative that is given to their people. Pakistan is doing this. So whatever it is, but then the problem is that it is on us now. Now, the next question is, so how long is it going to last? Now, this is a very, very important question. So if you look at it, whenever there is a strong grey lizard has been in play, it has lasted for a longer time. Okay, I mean the First World War, it has happened for more than 3-4 years. Second World War too. Okay, so whenever grey lizard happens, it can be very strong. I mean, Pluto in Kargil War happened in 1999 when Pluto was in Scorpio, which is a okayish kind of. I mean, it's not that bad. Okay, but in Capricorn, it can be much more stronger. Even if you look at emergency happened, it stayed for about 2 years. Yeah, this is just like the COVID thing. Everyone was saying that it will be over in 1 month, 2 months. People were feeling that somebody circulated some astrologer's prediction that it will be finished in 1 month. I'm telling you, I mean, this is not to scare you, okay? I'm telling you all of these things only to strengthen you, okay? Remember that it is not to scare you. So be prepared. Mentally, we all need to be prepared that grey lizard patch normally stays for 4 years, okay? So within that 4 years, roughly about 2 years will be impacted. The remnants or the after effects can stay for another 2 years, okay? So it's largely 4 years will be impacted, but the major event that is happening can be maximum for 2 years time. Okay. So now what will happen to the entire war? What is going to happen? Who's going to win? I mean, it's not about winning and losing, but it is about war is a bad thing. It's a very destructive thing, unfortunately. But then somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. And the point is that, people are going to die. That's a very unfortunate thing. Innocent people are going to die. Okay. If you look at the horoscopes of the two people involved in, okay, Mr. Modi and Mr. Shehbaz Sharif. I'm not saying this because I'm an Indian, but Mr. Modi, and also please understand that I have no political affiliations, okay? I'm talking from a very neutral perspective and also from the perspective of an astrologer. I'm only looking at the horoscopes. In fact, you can see the two charts. You will see that both these gentlemen were born at the difference of just 1 year. But you'll see that Mr. Modi's horoscope is much more powerful. How you can see that? You see that there are more green squares in the horoscope. I mean, it's a software. The software doesn't lie, right? The software is you put in the data and it will throw back the information. So the software itself is saying that Mr. Modi's chart is more powerful, okay, than Mr. Sharif's chart. So it's very simple. It's the ultimate winner is going to be India. And in fact, that is one of the reasons why even before the elections, the 2020, the 4 elections, I'd actually predicted saying that you need a leader. Okay, because I said that, grey lizard is going to happen and there are going to be so many incidents that are going to happen in the country and people will be impacted. And if people are going to be impacted, then we need to have a strong leader. Okay, so Mr. Modi is a very strong leader. He's a Scorpio plus Virgo. So he's a very precise leader, very decisive leader. Now that is what is extremely important for us, right? So we are very lucky that we are in our country, we have a leader who is very, very strong. And it is not just about Mr. Modi. I mean, I'm also looking at his entire team. Okay, it can be Mr. Rajnath Singh, it can be, Mr. Shah, okay, Mr. Jaishankar. So all of his people, the team is very, very powerful. They're all born on very good years. They have very strong charts and they have the capability to defend the country. And they can go to any extent and they will protect the country from any kind of a problem. So what it means is that if I'm going to talk from India's perspective, there will be lesser damage to India, okay, for sure. And Pakistan will be damaged more. And I mean, you can actually, if you look at Mr. Sharif's chart, he has those kind of personal planets which makes him egoistic, okay, and also he's very devious. And also whatever information is going to, again, this is a neutral view, okay, I'm just looking at the horoscopes and saying that. You can see that he's a person who is completely unreliable and he will tell you all false information. He will tell you something and you will not adhere to that or you will not live up to the promise. So that is going to be a problem which will, percolate for some more time, okay. So after Pakistan has done this, broken this ceasefire thing, now there is probably some kind of a clarity, which has arrived at what can actually happen. So I'm expecting some sort of escalation to happen now. It's not over yet. So between now and September, because September is when the planet Pluto is going out of grey lizard. In fact, somewhere even in August it comes in. It goes out of grey lizard, and also planet Z is coming into Mr. Modi's 11th house. 11th house is the house of success or victory or gain. So it means that there is an economic gain also. Please understand that if the war is going on, one day it ceasefire, one day it's everything is fine. So the markets are choppy, right? So probably there can be some sort of a stability at that point of time. So if market is stable means the economy is stable, which means that something is positively happening around that time. So whatever is happening right now will go on. So something probably India may take one more aggressive action, okay, which can be a very strong action. or maybe series of actions which can happen, and probably India's already shown that they have supreme power to precisely target terror place, or they've shown that they can do precise attacks, right, surgical attacks, and they will probably have to show that they can even inflict even more deeper damage. They've already gone deeper into the Pakistan, and they have shown it that they can do it, so probably they will do something more. So that is something that can happen between now and September, and there will be one phase of the war which will be over. Okay, but then, as I said, the grey lizard is not over yet. So which means in the next year, and it's difficult to say when it will be, but probably somewhere in the next year. And also, I'm also seeing Venus and Mars, conjunction is also happening at various phases between 2026 to 28. So which means the skirmishes will keep happening, and probably, in the next 2 years' time, between 2026 and 28, 26, 27, 28, those 3 years' time, probably there could also be even more such interventions that can happen. So which means Pakistan will strike us, and then we will strike them. So the war is not completely over. It can be over at some point of time. Then it will once again flare up. Then once again, the India will have to do what they have to do. And then probably it can also happen that, something by the end of the grey lizard patch, which will be sometime in 28, 29, the entire international community would actually understand what Pakistan is doing. Even right now also, their terror base has been exposed, but probably there'll be a lot of forces. The US will intervene, and there'll be the UN will realize that the double face of Pakistan, how they are playing this game. And as I said that, I have said in the video very clearly that I was surprised, whatever I said, that is exactly how Pakistan is behaving. I said that this gentleman has got no face. I mean, he will tell you something, but then he cannot be trusted. That's exactly what he's doing. So Pakistan is going to do such a thing continuously for the next 2-3 years. And India will have to end this. Probably what I feel is that now there will be a real end. There will be a true end. India under Mr. Modi will strike Pakistan in such a way that they will really learn the lesson. They're not learning. They're doing it again and again. So we will teach them a lesson, a very, very strong lesson. What it could be, I don't know, which simply means that there's going to be escalation. There's going to be huge attack, and India will have to teach them a lesson, and India will teach a lesson, which can also mean, going into Pakistan and doing attack. So yeah, it's not over yet. Now, talking about the impact, on the stock markets, obviously, you're going to see volatility. See, first of all, the FIIs went back last year, because of the weakening rupee. So, Indian stock market, that was the time when Uranus became weaker, and one planet, doing the job, which the FIIs went back. And then, Mr. Trump, what he does, and then the American markets crashed and the FIIs came back. So, the markets went up. But right now, of course, there is war, and war is not a very pleasant situation. When the country is in a state of war, obviously, the markets are going to be choppy. So yes, there will be choppy means what? It will fall, it will rise, it will fall again, it will rise again. So the next 4 years are not going to be great years when you're going to make a lot of money. You're not going to create wealth. During war, I don't want to be talking about wealth in the economy. I don't want to be talking about wealth, but let's talk about the economy part. Economy-wise, I would say that we don't need to worry really about the Indian economy. The simple reason is because Mr. Modi's chart, again, see, why we're talking about Mr. Modi's chart is that because the national leader's horoscope indicates what is happening in the country. If you see his chart, you can see that the grey lizard Pluto is there transiting his 4th house, which shows that there are dangers to the country, and Mr. Modi, being the leader, has to take action. So he is taking action right now, and he's protecting the country. So there will be so many other conflicts or problems that will happen in the world. In fact, I'm actually I was writing a book on India's challenges during grey lizard and how India will overcome. But now I think that I need to focus that entire book from the perspective of Mr. Modi. How Mr. Modi will take care of all the problems that's going to happen in the India. And war is only one of those things. There are so many other challenges which will come during the grey lizard patch, and Mr. Modi he has a beautiful chart, and he will ensure that all the troubles will be taken care of. So what it means is that eventually the stock markets and everything will go up. And India as a country will be impacted very less. There are going to be deaths. There are going to be people who will die. There will be destruction. There will be cities, torn apart. There will be a lot of, trouble that is going to happen. But after that, there will be reconstruction. There will be a lot of positive things that will happen after that. So Mr. Modi will ensure that, all of these things are taken care of. Okay. And his team, of course. So what I would say is that, what you should do from an individual perspective, I would say that, beware of all the news that you hear, stay away from all the, jingoistic media or, false media. And also there are so many media which is perpetrating all wrong news, coming across the border. So stay away from them and don't do anything stupid, right? So if you know that, this is a place where you're not supposed to go, then don't do that. Stay safe. Okay. And yes, ultimately India is going to win. So that is the best part. Yeah, this too shall pass. Okay. Grey lizard is going to be for 4 years, but then the impact will be for just about 2 years. And during those 2 years, it's going to be bad. But then after that, it's going to be fine. It's all going to be, after that, it's going to be a long, great, good, beautiful growth story for India. And definitely, of course, Pakistan will learn its lessons. And maybe India will do something which will be so beautiful. Mr. Modi and India will do something so beautiful that probably some long-standing problems associated with India, Pakistan and Kashmir can be resolved or will be resolved, in the next 2-3 years. It's not just about Pahalgam, it's going to be about a major transformation that is going to happen in the country and the country's borders. So watch out, it has just started.